are some of the challenges and opportunities that you face as an executive or as a professional?
So I would say a few of the challenges that I face are just actually getting people to trust in me. Since I work with small businesses, a lot of them are in the stage where they say, hey, I've put in just about all my money. I've had people who said, hey, I took out a second mortgage on my house, I've depleted my 401k to start my business. So I actually have to gain their trust, and I do that by letting them know that I'm there for them both in my day job and outside of my day job. If there's something I can't assist someone with during my day job, I make sure to utilize all of my resources.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Pull-Up Experience. I believe the most talked about podcast in the city of Cleveland, guys. We have a great episode tonight with you guys. We have Mr. Tim Lewis, who is going to tell us more about how we can structure our business, how we get funding for our business, and basically the number one thing we're talking about on the podcast: how can I get money from my business? And this man is going to do that for us tonight. So thank you for coming on.
Of course.
Well, tell people about yourself. You better do a better introduction of yourself than I can, my friend.
All right, so like Brandon said, my name is Tim Lewis. I am a business solutions advisor with Bank of America. I also sit on the leadership team for the bank's Black Professional Group, which aims to advance the black talent of our associates. Outside of my day job, I sit on the board of the Northeast Ohio Coalition for the Homeless and the board of Front Steps Transitional Housing Services. And my family also owns Red All Green Partnership, which is a urban agricultural farm that helps to get sustainable food for the city of Cleveland.
Come on. Oh, sorry, I hit that a couple times. Them right there.
Didn't know we had a hype button.
My bad. We got to hype you up, brother, because those are great accolades and accomplishments, man. So we love to start the podcast off because we want to talk about the journey. All right. And so with your journey, where did it begin? Cleveland born and raised?
Yep, Cleveland born and raised.
So if you had to represent a hood, what part of Cleveland would you represent?
Euclid.
Okay, you. That's what I'm talking about. So let me ask you this: was the acumen for, I would say, business, was it always there, or is it something that you eventually gravitate to as your journey?
So it's funny. My degree is actually in communications, and I got a job right out of college at State Farm. Not a lot of people know that they're also a bank. So I kind of just said, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this for a little bit, just until I can get my communications career off the ground. But then I kind of fell into banking, and I'm like, okay, I like this.
Yeah.
That's when I actually transitioned into Merrill Lynch, where I did investments for a little bit. And when the pandemic hit, they sent us all to work from home on the PPP task force.
Oh.
So with that, I was actually helping people fill out their PPP loan applications. Then when, the pandemic kind of died down, I transitioned into a more consumer role. Then what we had, they called the market leader at the time, said, you know what, Tim, I think you actually have a penchant for business.
Yeah.
I think you do good in a more business-focused role. And honestly, I said, I'm not really sure why you think that. I didn't see it in myself. But then I began to realize there weren't a lot of small businesses in Cleveland ran by people that looked like me.
So you see the need.
And that's what made me realize I actually need to be a source of that people can come to for business advice and business help. Because even though I am just one person, it only takes one spark to start a fire.
Top episode. Tim are starting off with the fire, y'all. So no, that's awesome, man, and we'll get into the PPP thing later, a little bit later, because I gotta know.
You need a PPP loan?
No. Oh, right. I don't want no smoke with that. But I want to talk. I mean, one of the things that we were seeing during that time was all these people trying to fill out fraudulent information to get the PPP loan. So we might as well get into it while we are here.
Oh, so probably one of the best stories I like to tell is helping a gentleman fill out his application. I said, all right, what do you do? Clap my hands together.
What?
And I said, all right, I need a little bit more clarification. Like, let's just say you have a graduation or a wedding and need a round of applause.
Time out.
Are you for real?
I'm 100% for real.
Wow. And that's a real business.
The
Yeah.
clapper.
Wait,
That is
are you
crazy.
You can call me up. Like, all right, I need a round of applause at my bro's wedding. And I say, all right, you know, just send me the paperwork. I ain't got time.
We're talking about. We can't laugh. We laughing.
Because we do ask for support. Now you can pay for support.
Yeah.
That is
Wow.
a
Remember-
diversified
Well,
business.
that's
Remember Wedding Ringer? The Wedding Ringer, he was literally paid to be.
Yeah, the best
Oh
man.
yeah,
Okay.
He
that's
was, he
true.
was.
I forgot about that movie.
The wedding clapper. That's what he was.
Yep.
The wedding clapper.
The wedding clapper.
Wow.
So
That is crazy.
So we can't knock it. So he might have legit business there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But how many times will you say you not saying, because I'm pretty sure you can't do all the information, but how often do you see business not structured properly for any type of loan, not even just a PP loan?
I mean, you see it a lot, and it's not because they are doing something fraudulent. A lot of the time, they just don't have the education.
Let me hold on, let me get that one. So with that being said, what do you feel like are the biggest, not mistakes, the biggest missteps people have when structured business to apply for one?
I would say the biggest missteps people have is, first off, just one, how to do it, and then two, what they actually need in order to do it. I mean, all the time I see someone come like, hey, I want to open a business account. Like, all right, do you have an EIN number? Did you file?
The basics.
Yep, did you file it with the Secretary of State? Like, Tim, I don't know what you're talking about. That's why right now, a big part of what I do is financial literacy. I'm actually going to be in Tennessee this weekend speaking at a financial literacy conference, because when I met with the CEO of the person putting it on, he realized that financial literacy is lacking, not just in my community, but his as well. So that's why he realized that after talking with me, you're the right person to come to this summit and speak to my audience.
Now, how often does that happen to you? Because you always outside on somebody's stage. No, I mean, it's a beautiful thing because first and foremost, representation is so important.
Absolutely.
But on top of that, you actually clearly know what you're talking about. So how often do you get approached for opportunities to go out, and then how does that make, like, because I still get anxious as a speaker right before, like, once I get in the groove, I know what I'm talking about, I can roll, but it takes a minute for me to just hit the stage. How is that for you?
Well, so to answer your first question, it actually just started more so the end of last year going into this year. I actually just got back from Louisville, Kentucky for the Kentucky Derby, and I spoke at Kentucky State University at an event called the Wealth Weekend, which aims to educate people on how to build generational wealth. And then also, the panel I spoke on was building more endowments for HBCUs, because compared to more the primarily white institutions, HBCU funding is severely lacking. So I was just speaking on what ways HBCUs can do to generate more funding for themselves. To answer the second part of your question, remind me again what was the second part of your question?
Second part was comfortability on stage.
Comfortably. I'll give you a two-part answer. One, she probably won't be happy that I'm saying this, but my mother, there was a time where, boy, you better not get on that stage and embarrass me. And then two, it's just, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. Once you actually come to terms that you're speaking about something you're passionate about, and you come to terms with your speaking about something that's going to help other people, it makes yourself more comfortable. And I know that that's going to be different, because I know, especially within the Black community, a lot of people don't think about anxiety. So a lot of people are anxious about speaking. So I would always just say that if you're anxious about speaking, practice in the mirror, practice on video, talk to somebody. So that's honestly something I had to do for myself, because before I, just became more comfortable speaking.
And I want to ask you this question because Red Off Farms, let's talk about it, because I think it helps you with what you do on a daily basis, because you work with entrepreneurs, you are an entrepreneur, and then you're just around entrepreneurs. We feel like it helps you be better equipped to speak to others about these things, and to be able to be in the rooms with people of that nature.
So what I will say, I will be honest, I don't go down to the farm as much as I should. I do want to give a big shout out to my older brother. His name is also Tim Lewis.
I was just gonna say, are you a junior? Because y'all don't look the same. I'm not old enough to be father.
So it's funny. So our dad is also Tim Lewis.
Okay.
He does not have a middle name, and I don't. So I am a junior. But my older brother does have a middle name, so he's not a junior.
Get the cuss word out of here.
Yeah. So I do want to give a big shout out to my older brother Tim Lewis. He is the one who does all the legwork at the farm. It would not be a thing without him.
Yeah.
He does so much in the community, and he does so much for me as an older brother.
Yeah.
Words can't describe just how much he does for the city of Cleveland.
He's definitely a staple, especially in the farming community. Everybody is like,
Yeah.
you got to get down there.
Yeah, everybody has to get down to Red All Green Partnership.
Yeah.
That's Red All Green Partnership.
So I'm saying, with that being said, like you're around entrepreneurs. You're inculcated with entrepreneurs. So like I'm saying, we say it makes you better to do what you do on a daily basis because of that.
Yes, I would say that. And then I would say, I know for me, myself, I also do a lot of research on, one, the city of Cleveland, two, the small business aspect of the city of Cleveland, and what more can be done in the city of Cleveland. Because I feel like if I don't do the research for my clients and the people I talk to, how can they trust me with the business?
I love that. In doing your research, what have you found?
In doing my research, so what I try to do is I try to educate a lot of people on, one, free money, so grant funding, because I would always recommend grant funding and sponsorship than a small business loan or line of credit. Because, like I said, I have people who come to me and say, hey Tim, I liquidated my 401k. I've exhausted both me and my spouse's savings. And last thing you need is another bill.
Right.
So that's why I always try and educate people on the free money that Cleveland offers. Because what we have is a various amount of programs for businesses, especially if it's a certain sector. Like we have businesses for beauty products. We have, we have grants for beauty products. We have grants for clothing stores. We have grants for restaurants.
Are there grants for podcasts?
Grants for podcasts.
I just wanted to ask, just make sure. Yeah, I was about to say, let me make sure I put it out there because we'll talk afterwards, Tim.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to make sure because, and I didn't know that we weren't privy to that information, but and I think the biggest misservice we have as a community, like you said, is not knowing those things. And unfortunately, our counterparts, they're familiar with those things. We're just not the one privy to it. And thank God for you. Because we need that. We need someone who's inside and knows these things to be able to give it to the people. Shout out to you, man.
Thank you.
So with that being said, what do you feel like is the biggest thing in the current situation? Because economically speaking, I see reports from banks, to real estate, and everything in between. What do you feel like the future for us as far as entrepreneurs is looking like?
So I would say the future of entrepreneurs right now, I would say, is community coming together. So I'm not sure if you all have heard of, it's called the Fearless Fund.
Yes.
She's lying.
So,
educate Brittany. You're so irritating.
So the Fearless Fund is a Black-owned venture capital firm. What they have is a grant that is specifically targeted towards Black-owned businesses. But they recently just got sued in open court saying it is discriminatory to have a grant program where you only give grants to Black women.
Whoa. And
a federal court actually just sided with the people saying, you know what, that is discriminatory and that violates the Civil Rights Act of 1866. So we're at a point where you go into a room and they say, you know what, you need to make your own space, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then when we make our own space and make our own programs, we're told, oh, you know, that's discriminatory. So that's why I feel like you can really just depend on yourself and your community, because there are certain other individuals you can't depend on. Because when they tell you to do your own thing, they turn it back on you. So that's why I think community is the backbone of small business, because we just really need to support our small businesses.
I agree 100%. And if anything, as the trajectory we're going, and with the economic way that we're on, which we all know, all of us are trying to find where we can cut or reduce as much as possible. And what is all trying to pursue entrepreneurship, I am a big person who believes in bartering. That's just me. Because I know our forefathers, that's what they did, especially in times of economic strife or whatnot. So I think that to me, that's what the future looks like to me. Because if I have a service that can benefit you as a whole, and I know that right now I don't have it in me to physically give you money, what can I do as far as service to help complement your business or services or whatnot? So no. So with that
being said,
yeah, I'm about to say,
from a banker's perspective and a lender's perspective, and somebody who positions businesses for prosperity, how do you look at that when somebody has a wonderful business, has a wonderful hobby model, but doesn't have enough transactions to really be considered a business? So how do you walk them through that idea of, hey, I give my stuff away, and it's great stuff because people love it, and help them to understand that it's okay to get paid in that process.
So what I will say
she's looking
is,
at me specifically saying she's looking at me.
What would you tell somebody who walked in and like, I need money? Because it's hard to give people money if they don't have a proven track record to show that they can realistically make money. You're telling me people love your stuff, but I don't see the math ain't mathing. There's no math here.
So what I like to do, I like to help people both inside my day job and outside my day job.
Okay.
So before I can actually say, hey, you know what, just get this loan, just get this credit card. Let me actually put you in connect with someone that can help you grow your business. Let's just say you sell actually, you know what, perfect example. These Coco's Crowns bottles. When I was in Louisville, Kentucky, I had a meeting with Authentic Brands Group. They own Sports Illustrated, Brooks Brothers, Saks at Barney's. I introduced Coco's Crown to him and said, you know what, this is a natural hair care company, all vegan owned. Authentic Brands Group has a suite of businesses that they own. What business would fit best with Coco's Crown? And that's when he connected me to, I believe it's called The Green Show. They do, Miami Fashion Week and New York Fashion Week. So had to sit down with the owner, Deja Smith. We had a meeting. So what I like to do, I like to connect people with other people. Kind of like the bartering system you mentioned. It's like, all right, before we actually get you in a place where you have to get your credit hit or spend more money, let me see if I can use my own connections and put you in a meeting where someone can actually help you out. Then once you get to that stage, then we can talk about if you actually want to go the route of having your credit hit, because as we all know, credit's important. So that's why I always want to put you in a room with someone that can help you, and I also want to be in that room myself to make sure that they're not doing something shady and putting you in a place where you don't want to be.
We all have seen Shark Tank.
We all have seen Shark Tank.
And the equity they be taking, I'm like, Lord, Jesus gonna give it those equity?
I'll give you $1 million, but I need 95% of the company.
Exactly.
And your firstborn child.
Which is crazy. And we see too often, and when you don't have that knowledge, once again, that happens in the real world more often than a little bit. We just happen to see it on Shark Tank and on another platform. So no. So let me ask you this: what do you feel like the most rewarding part of what you do, man?
I mean, the most rewarding part of what I do is actually getting to see businesses thrive. I mean, nothing warms my heart more knowing that you realized your dream, and then I was the one to actually help you make it happen.
That's awesome. So Tim, for those who are watching and motivated and ready to they've been inkling at the idea of starting a business, what are some beginning steps that you would, give them to kind of get started before, you step in and kind of show them the funding part of it? What would be some key elements to business starting?
I would say, one, research the industry that you want to go in. Let's just say you want to start a clothing business. I would research what the clothing business is looking like right now. What are the top trends, and also what do you want to go to yourself? And then the second thing I would look into is locally if there are any programs for that industry. That way you can actually get yourself in front of a mentor, get yourself in front of a program that'll give you a grant, get yourself in front of a program that will put you to the next level and get you a step above someone who hasn't started their own business yet. So I would say research is always a key component in starting a business. And like I said, it's not that people are lazy, it's more so they just don't have the guidance that they need right now.
No, that's good.
That's good advice.
Because Marquita, I'm laughing because this is something I hear Marquita. It's
He doesn't listen to me, so I'm glad that you got you came. I know you said State Farm, but you came with the All-State boys, and you were actually able to be heard because I can't be heard. So
no,
keep going.
I was gonna give you your props because one thing that Marquita stays on me quite a bit is that, like I said, it's not a hobby. It's how you turn to a business or whatnot. So what do you say to the person that has a hard time asking for funds for their business or whatnot? Like, what advice you give them to help structure their business to turn from, like I said, from a hobby into a full-fledged business?
When you say asking for funds, do you mean loan and lending, or do you mean sales?
Sales.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify the question before you.
And both. I actually both.
I mean, I would say for me, if you have a hard time asking for funding, not to toot my own horn, but find somebody like me. Find somebody that's
Come on now, come on, Tim.
that's willing to go to bed. Find someone that's willing to, like, I know I got off at 5 o'clock, but for you, I'm gonna be working past 5 o'clock. Like, even if, like I said, even if I can't help you at Bank of America, let me put you in touch with ECDI to get you a loan. Let me put you in touch with the United Black Fund. Let me put you in touch with the Urban League. Let me use my connections to help you, because once I'm off the clock, I'm on the clock for you.
Yeah.
Total episode. That's good right there. We need more people like you.
Yeah, that's true.
And let me ask you this: so in the future, we're talking about Lewis consulting. You know,
Well, it's funny. Tim always tells me, like, you know, you need to start your own consulting.
I was probably don't have it. That's what I'm saying. Because we need that. Like you said, like you're kind of doing already. Why not? Just saying.
I mean, I have thought about it. It's just I do want to dedicate my time to my job, and then also my nonprofit work.
Yeah, come on.
So can we go a little bit deeper into the nonprofit work?
Yes.
Yes. So, like I said, they call it NEOC, the Northeast Ohio Coalition for the Homeless, and then Front Steps Transitional Housing Services. So, two homeless nonprofits. They are dear to my heart because, thankfully, I've never had to experience homelessness, but my father, he is the youngest of 8. My grandfather was a heavy drinker. Thankfully, he gave his life over to God, but there was a time where he spent all of the rent money on alcohol, and they got evicted. So it was my grandfather, my grandmother, and 8 kids, all under 15, all on the street. And back then, they didn't have any programs. It's just, oh, well, you know, your husband's a drunk, so you're out on the street. I understand that, but what do the kids have to do with that? That's not their problem. So, and it actually caused my grandmother to have a mental breakdown. So, when my dad told me that story, as I got older, it made me realize, I wonder if there's something I can do in the city of Cleveland, because my dad is Cleveland born and raised as well, to assist people who might get in a situation like that. And that's what made me kind of started with NEOC, because what we try and do is eliminate the root cause of homelessness. So many people think that, oh, you're homeless because you're lazy, you're homeless because you don't have a job and you don't want a job. No, he's homeless because the landlord didn't want to rent to someone who looks like him. She's homeless because she's a single mother of 3. So that's why we try and educate people on, we want you to look past your bias, we want you to look past those stereotypes and think, why are they really homeless?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what made me get involved in homeless advocacy.
With that, do you offer, like, financial literacy is a big part of somebody's journey with homelessness, and just, even if we make the money, a lot of people just have a hard time managing it, and they have more month at the end of the money versus vice versa. So, do you find that to be something that you also incorporate in your work with them?
Yes. So I bring a finance aspect to the board. On the finance committee.
Okay.
So I help choose what to allocate the funding to, and then we also actually have workshops that teach the unhoused population how to manage the money that we have. We have programs where we partner with local shelters and hotels to get them a temporary staying, and we also, like I said, we have the programs where we can have people come out and say, hey, come to NEOC, come to this event. We'll actually show you what the homeless population is like. We'll actually teach you on how to be a more homeless advocate. So that's pretty much what we do there. And then with Front Steps, I've only been on the board for a few months, but with Front Steps, they actually have a location where they provide housing to individuals. And it's I believe it's a 99% occupancy rate, because it's such a good thing that people like, I don't get this at a shelter.
Yeah.
And they actually just had this past Saturday a free market where the board members helped to donate fruit, vegetables, and the population could just come out, get food, get resources, have a meal.
Oh, cool.
No, that's
I
dope.
really like that.
No, and I love the work that you're doing, because once again, I know as a real estate agent, I see it too often. People, and especially once again, back to going to the climate we're in, too often we're seeing that where people are denying and saying it's because of these things.
Yep.
And it's not specifically redlining or nothing like that, but it's ways around everything. We're seeing it more often a little bit, because this person has this many kids, or this person has this slight blemish on the record.
Yep.
It's discriminative, but they don't call it discriminative. They can put
Exactly.
it in. Yeah, right. So we've seen it too often, and the work you guys are doing is very much needed, especially in our city or whatnot.
Oh, yeah. And that's why we also have what we call street outreach coordinators. Because another big problem is, let's just say you see someone who's homeless sleep on the RTA. So people's first thought is to call the police. That does nothing but to agitate the situation, because the police aren't properly equipped.
Right.
That's why we let people know, don't call the police, call us at NEOC, and we can help mitigate the situation and actually find them someone to live. Because like I said, when you call the police for that, pretty much all they do is escalate the situation. There's also the stereotype of, if they go to jail, they get somewhere to stay, they get a hot meal. Jail is not fun.
Right. I'm about to say, I can't even think about that being a rational thought. Like, let me take jail. No.
People think that all the time. Like, go to jail, they get a hot meal, they get a place to stay. There, that's better than being outside. Like, jail is not fun in the slightest.
No, not at all. Not even slightest.
So what can, just as community change agents, or people just aspiring to just be a randomly kind person, what are some things that small things, even if it's just calling NEOC, that we can do to just be better to one another, especially those who are suffering in that homeless population?
So I'm going to say something that might not be a popular opinion, because a lot of people don't have it, but some people just need to have empathy.
That's real.
I mean, it's a lot of people just don't have common courtesy nowadays.
Yes.
Where I can understand if someone walks up to you and say, "Hey, do you have $1?" I can understand you say, "Oh, I just don't happen to have any money with me," and then go about your day. That's fine. But then you see people berate them like, "No, get a job."
Right.
Like, I feel like some people, you just need to have common courtesy. You need to gain some perspective and think about, what if you were in their shoes?
Right.
So I also think people can, like I say, I know I keep saying research, but do a lot of research on the homelessness in your community. I believe it's in California. They actually have benches now they look like spikes, because they don't want homeless people sleeping there. So it's kind of like a homeless deterrent, sleeping on the benches.
That is crazy.
To go those lengths, that's crazy. It's not surprising. It's not. But that's fortunate that we treat our homeless like second-rate citizens when
Exactly.
they're human just like we are. So let me ask this: what would be a way that someone, if they want to contribute to the app, how can they go about doing that?
Go on the website and donate.
We'll have it on the show notes. Don't go anywhere. It's right there.
Yep,
And that's the same thing for Front Steps?
Same thing for Front Steps. That's the good thing nowadays. It's so easy to donate.
Yes.
And even if someone doesn't feel comfortable donating right off the bat, go on the website, look at the story, look at the resources that they offer, educate yourself. I would always say make an informed decision, because some people just say, hey, I don't want to give my money and it's not really going anywhere. Make an informed decision, and then if you feel comfortable donating, do it.
Can they also sign up to like volunteer?
Yes, they can.
Like that
We
as
always need
well
volunteers.
Yeah.
So it'll be on the show notes for my people like, where? It's right there. Okay. So let me ask you this, man. What do you feel like the biggest, because you outside of what you do, outside your you're giving back. Let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Tim Lewis.
All right.
What is the biggest misconception people have about you?
I mean, I would say I don't think a lot of people have that many misconceptions about me, because I try to be an open book.
Good answer.
I mean, you can come to me with anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I try to present myself as a person that anybody can come to.
Mm-hmm.
I try to present myself as a person that's trustworthy. I mean, I will say in my younger days, I definitely did some, I don't want to say questionable things, but I definitely was not the man that I am today.
As we all are.
Yeah.
It's part of your what makes you you.
Absolutely.
And I will say I have to thank my parents for that. My parents definitely instilled a set of values in me that I still carry to this day.
That was what I mentioned. I'm like, I just know he got wealth knowledge, so you know, make sure I introduce myself to this man right here. So, no, I like to say you carry yourself in a way that makes a person be like, he has something I need. I just don't know what it is yet. Let me make sure I get to know that man.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, man, we talk about the past, talk about the present, let's talk about the future, man. Talk about the future. What does the future hold for you?
Future holds for me, I would say, still doing my advocacy for the unhoused individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I would also just say expand my portfolio to help out more small businesses. And then I would say three, expand just me speaking on financial literacy in not only my community but also different communities. And I am glad that I've had the opportunity to network and meet other individuals that meet me and say, hey, I know you live in Cleveland, but I want you to speak at this event in Louisville. I know you live in Cleveland, but I want you to speak at this event in Memphis. So I'm just glad that people are seeing that I'm someone who is passionate about financial literacy, and they want to invite me to speak in different cities.
That's good. And also we'll have Tim's booking information also for you if you want to book him for your next event or to speak about financial literacy. So no, shout out to you, man. Thank you.
And I also do want to say shout out to you because you got nominated for a Pink and Black Honor, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I ain't gonna hit that button. Put that button over here. I appreciate that, man. No, God is good, and I can't. This is what I don't think people understand. Anyone who does anything worth doing, know they can do it by themselves. And I will never take the credit. One, forgot. And then two, have an amazing team that I work with, that I have the honor and privilege of working with. So this is not an award for me, it's an award for the team. So I can't thank them enough.
You know, you got it. I'm gonna let you know. No, amazing. I think Ren is very humble in his presentation of everything that he has done for not only the pull-up experience and the team, but the city. Like, we really highlight amazing people. We get the opportunity to do that because you step out of your comfort zone, more importantly than anything, and like have the conversations. You start them, you continue them, because I'm good at starting the conversation and be like, I'm gonna get it to you, and then my schedule is crazy, but you manage all of us.
Listen, it's having great people like Tim, because I literally I met Tim at creative meetups, and he was speaking. I'm like, oh, let me make sure I get his information. And when I literally said, "Then we need to get you on the pull up," because as we already know, one of the big things, if it ain't love and entrepreneurship, is money in entrepreneurship. So I'm like, we have to have him on the show, and we are extremely grateful to have you on. And I know that we'll talk afterwards because we gotta get that grant for that podcast. We're talking about it. And as everyone know, we had a simple question we love asking.
Wait, because I really want to dig a little bit deeper in the.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. My apologies.
Can we talk about
That's right. Let's talk about that.
At least the products that we got showcased for sure.
All right, so this is Coco's Crown. Coco's Crown is a natural hair care company, and it is all vegan products. So what we have here, this is an essential oil, and it is multifaceted. So when you look at it, you would think it's mostly for women, but men can use it too. Men can use it as a beard oil. You can
good, because Brandon's not connected.
I was about to say, I was gonna holler at Tim afterwards, and I gotta know, like, vegan, like, you mean tell us all the rest of my stuff is not vegan I've been using? Like, it got meat in there? I'm like, oh man.
So what they say, you should never use a product with ingredients that you can't pronounce. So yes, it is a vegan natural hair care company. They have essential oils. They have refreshing mist. There's also a lip balm.
Yes.
Okay.
And then on the website there are scrunchies, satin pillowcases,
Oh, awesome. So actually,
hair clips.
wow.
complimentary items. I love.
Yep.
Come on, thanks.
They're
Good.
on
Come on,
Inst-
I'm gonna get that one time.
Yep.
Okay.
They're on Instagram, Coco's Crown. So you can go on the website, get any products, let them know Tim sent you.
Bet.
For sure.
And we'll also have show notes, by the way. We'll make sure how to you guys get your products there. So I'm definitely get something for this beer. So connect.
It's dry.
It's dry. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Not as dry.
Okay. Staple question.
Yes.
Back on task. So, one big thing that we always hear people say in Cleveland, I'm biased on my opinion, but people randomly will shout out, you know, we have a stigma in the city. We're not collaborative. First of all, how do you feel about that? And then second of all, how do you feel like we can change that narrative?
I think we're collaborative in certain spaces.
Mm.
Like Brandon said, we met at creative meetups. I probably saw about 10 people that I already knew. So you get people like me in a room, people like Brandon in a room. One of my clients, his name is Ralph Faulkner. He owns Cold Blue Vodka. I'll see him out. I'll see, you probably know the artist Lacey Talley.
Yeah.
Oh, Lacey, Shaw Lacey?
Yeah, I just saw Lacey Saturday.
See?
Like, I think that you have like-minded individuals, and we know that we need to be collaborative. And what we're trying to do in the city of Cleveland is to get more people with a similar mind to us. A gentleman by the name of Arnold Hines. He has a lot of networking.
Shout out to Arnold, man.
Shout out to Arnold.
Come on to pull up the experience, Arnold, okay?
I actually going to one of his events Tuesday, so I'm going to tell him about
Okay,
it.
please do.
Yep.
Plug us in.
Yeah, he's really big on connecting individuals in the city of Cleveland, so I think he does a lot of good work. So I think we're collaborative in certain spaces, but there's always room for improvement.
That's good. And I love how you said it because, like, it's funny because you're right. And it's funny because I'm like, oh, I know that person or whatnot.
Yep.
And we, like I said, we have to open up the arena for more people or whatnot. So get out and network. Take that from Tim. Get out there because you don't know who you're going to meet.
I mean, that's actually how I got some of these speaking engagements. My jobs, Forbes 30 Under 30 Summit was in Cleveland last year.
Charleston.
Yep. My job sent me there. And while there, I actually got to have a one-on-one conversation with, his name is Jabari Young. He's the editorial lead for what's called Forbes Black. And it is just a way for black entrepreneurs to stay connected. Had a small talk, like, you know what, Tim? You need to be at our summit in Atlanta. So he gave me 2 tickets to the summit. That's where I met a few individuals, talked to them, and said, like, you know what, Tim? I need you in Louisville.
Wow.
You know what, Tim? I need you in Memphis.
Wow. All
So,
from that one.
All from that one event
Wow.
from Jabari Young inviting me to the Forbes Black Summit.
Come on now. See, y'all. So listen, take a pool. And I just love how you said it because, like, too often that happens, and our podcast is a living testament to that. Because how often have from just who we have on the podcast turned into now we're doing events for them.
Yep.
So no, network, please. So that being said, who would you like to collaborate in the future, my friend?
Who would like to collaborate in the future? I mean, honestly, I've been keeping up with your podcast for a while, and I'm glad I got to collaborate with the
Yeah,
Pulpits.
come on.
So
Appreciate that, man.
I mean, I'm always open to a lot of collaboration. Like I said, Forbes Black, they have an annual summit. I won't be able to make it this year because I got so many other engagements.
She says, I'm booked to be here.
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna be, like I said, in Memphis this weekend. I'd like to speak at the Forbes Black Summit one day. I'm actually trying to get it organized now. Alan Bozeman, he sits on the board of MoCA, the Museum of Contemporary Art. So he's hard to get a hold to, but I'm actually trying to get it where we have a program at MoCA to discuss financial literacy for artists.
That's dope. I know you're watching. I know you. So get with Tim.
Yes.
See, I'm actually trying to get a panel together where me, one of my associates, he works at US Bank, going to see if he's available, and then maybe have artists like Lacey, Aaron Williams, one of my friends, his name's Andre Allen, but he goes by Bruno. See if they can actually get on a panel together, discuss their struggle as artists and how we can bridge the gap between financial institutions and artists and see where we can provide funding.
Oh, that would be so nice. I
You
would
know,
come to that.
yeah, I know. I'm about to say, we'll talk to Tim afterward.
Yeah.
We'll create a panel for because funding in business. That's something that I feel we need to have a panel for it anyway.
Yeah.
And financial literacy. So we'll talk afterwards.
All right.
And shout out to Lacey because Lacey, one of because I remember asking Lacey, I was like, she said, forget the starving artist moniker. She said, I ain't receiving that. She said, I'm an artist, but I ain't starving. So no, that's good stuff right there. So yeah.
All right, and then Tim. So when it comes to legacy, what would you say you would like the legacy to be for you as a person, and then just a legacy for any maybe future businesses that you may develop in the future, what you've been able to establish so far in the businesses and foundations you're in. So what would you like that legacy to be for you?
I mean, honestly, I hope it's not a pipe dream because I want to actually make it come true. Like I said, my parents have been a big foundation in the person who I am today. I actually want to start the Lewis Foundation eventually that actually helps and gives money to small businesses and creates grants for them.
That's dope.
And that's why I'm actually big right now on building generational wealth, because again, they might not be happy I say this, but you try and talk generational wealth to my parents and they ain't talking about that. It's like I grew up with 2 nickels. What you talking about generational wealth?
Right.
So that's why I'm actually trying to educate not only my parents but a lot of the older generation with, you got to get out the mindset of, oh, I'm just giving my kids money. Like, no, you got to educate them and also educate yourself on what to do with that money so that they don't blow it, that they actually build an empire for themselves.
That's good. That's good.
That's real good.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
Can't wait to come
because we know
opening.
that's going to come to fruition. So it's happening. So Tim, you've given us a lot. I mean, a lot for us, our viewers to take and digest, and I'm sure they're taking notes. I'm sure they're motivated and inspired by a lot of what you've talked about today. So if we had to kind of condense it all down to just 3 key takeaways, what would you like for someone watching to be able to grasp from today's interview?
3 key takeaways, I would say. Number 1 is network. You never know who you're going to meet from the power of network.
Sure.
2, educate. I would always educate yourself on what you want to do and the business that you want to take part in, and also educate others.
Ooh.
If there's something that you know,
good.
but there's something someone else doesn't know, take time out of your day to say, hey, you aren't an expert in this, I am. Let me actually teach you how to better yourself in this aspect. Number 3, empower. Always empower others. I feel like, especially in the Black community, there's always so many people talking down on us. We don't need to do that for ourselves. We need to empower more people that look like us. Because like I said with the Fearless Fund, no one is going to empower Black people like Black people.
Facts. Ooh, tired episode. That's like 5 titles.
I'm about to say you change it 6 times.
I'll work it out in it. No. Bro, and this I find is the most important question of the whole interview. Where do people book you? Where can they learn more about you and all those good things that connect to you?
So I mean, honestly, I'm not hard to get a hold of. I have a website through Bank of America. They can actually book a either phone call or in-person meeting with me.
Okay.
On Twitter, well, X, if y'all still play around. On Twitter and Instagram, TJLewis95. Like I say, I'm not gonna charge y'all for it because, like I say, if you just want advice, you need to get in the right direction. DM me. If you want my phone number, DM me. We can hop on a phone call right quick. But like I say, I want to see people succeed. I want to see my community succeed, and I want to see people like me succeed.
Absolutely. So listen, guys, I will have it in the show notes. And don't be blowing his DMs up or whatnot, because we're going to talk to him after the work. We're going to be working together.
No, y'all can go on. I'll respond to him eventually.
Right, there you go. Let me hit that one time. He said, I'll get you, you know?
Yep.
No. we truly appreciate having you on today, man. 'Cause like I said, not enough. We have so many entrepreneurs on that's good, but we need this is information that we need to know. So thank you so much for coming on, man.
And thank you for having me because you're doing the Lord's work.
This is your ministry.
Yes,
I'm
it
gonna
is.
say that.
I appreciate that.
I am a preacher's kid.
Okay. No, and you know what? So we'll talk afterwards because like I would love to have all the Lewis men on one time.
Oh, let's do it.
And let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's street. Yeah, we'll talk afterwards.
Yes, there's me, Tim, then my brother Brian, who also works for Bank of America, but he works in private bank.
Okay.
So he deals with the more high net worth client,
Yeah.
while I deal specifically with small businesses.
Wow. So we got so part 2, we have the Lewis men on, and we have all Lewis men, and just talk about that because then obviously your parents did a great job instilling certain things in you guys to make y'all understand the importance of finance, obviously.
Yep.
Of excellence, and just once again giving back to others.
Yes.
You gotta give it back. One way or another. Your brother's giving back. I
Yes,
mean,
he is.
so no, part 2. Y'all stay tuned for that. So thank you so much, man. And I know we have to pay some bills.
Yeah, we got to pay some bills.
Yeah.
Also, don't want to get mad. I have a sister too, so I don't want her to get mad at me and just.
Oh yeah, please do. Yeah,
Okay.
we want that smoke.
And she's the oldest, so she would definitely give me the smoke.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and then once again, we'll have there so you guys can get your
Coco's Crown.
Coco's Crown. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yes, we'll have that show us because we want you guys to make sure you support that. And I'm like, what do I got products I got meaning now? I'm looking at the ingredients now. Because
Exactly. You're gonna get some cow fat.
yeah, I'm about to say that's great. I might be looking tonight. I'm like, I'm gonna throw this away.
Everything you got?
Huh?
You get you some Coco's Crown.
No, I know facts.
Seriously.
No, absolutely. Can I invest in it? Because I need.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
They got
We'll
lip
talk
balm
about
too.
That's right. Can't forget the lip balm.
Now I'm gonna get started. Let me make sure I close out because she's gonna see we get started. Guys, June 22nd, guys. We, the Pull-Up Experience, will be there interviewing Cleveland's best at Severance Hall, the prestigious Severance Hall, to be in the room with Cleveland's creatives, entrepreneurs, innovators, change agents, to have a night of elegance and honor those who are making real change in the city. Guys, June 22nd, we will be there, and it's going to be a great time. As Tim said, you want to network with the best in the city, that's where you need to be. So we will be there. Get your tickets now because they're going fast.
Yes, they are. pinkandblackhonors.com. That is pinkandhonors.com. Please make sure y'all not only pull up, but show up. Because let me tell y'all, it's going to be a time. Now, he's being all nice about it, but it is going to be the Cleveland version of the Met Gala. So get it all the way together. We want to see y'all looking good because y'all already are excellent. But let's showcase that both visually, but also let's be in the right rooms. Let's have the right conversations. Let's acknowledge and celebrate all those that are actually doing something amazing in the city. So whether you are a community change agent, an entrepreneur, a entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to be in the right environment to grow the way you should and bloom. So I want you all there to help me celebrate. My bro Brandon has been for sure received as the finalist for Entrepreneur of the Year. And when I say finalist, I'm really, the IST is silent. He is going to be the final Entrepreneur of the Year this year. So I need y'all in the back clapping with me. I want to hear it. We got to hear that. Severance Hall is a big music hall, so I love to hear the drum roll, especially the foot stomping. So please help me celebrate my bro, y'all. We could not do any of this without him. As y'all know, he's not your average agent, and he's not your average person altogether. But not your average agent is how you guys can find him on Instagram and all social media platforms when it comes to anything as far as housing, whether you want to buy, sell, wholesale, or anything in between. This is the guy you absolutely need to see. And if you do not feel like you are ready yet, he is in the space to help you get your credit lined up, to make you get that confidence in yourself. Also, if you are struggling with confidence in yourself, or you know you're amazing, you just need other people to know you exist, absolutely pull up on Brandon. He is absolutely going to send you the right link so that you can pull up on the Pull-Up Experience, and we can do our best to highlight everything that you have going on throughout the city, things that you are doing for others, and also for yourself. With that being said, I would be remiss if I did not shout out the rest of our team, because we got some amazing
We got some
people.
dope people.
Come on.
Come on.
Man. We are
And
on
ain't a better
episode.
team. Ain't a better team.
Man, now that's what I say. Big chest out. We the most talked about for a reason. I would hope that all the things that when we are on your mind are positive thoughts. But with that being said, here's some other people I definitely need you to think about on their individualized greatness because we got them. The first one is Steve Jackson of Alien Eyes Photos.
Steve!
While we are at it, y'all really want to pull up on this? It's a great event that's coming up. It is going to be on June 20th at Launch Arts Media.
Yes.
They are having an amazing artist showcase. And with that being said, they are showcasing all different forms of art. Y'all know my favorite is from my bro Steve because it is just out of this world. He is the guy who has the eye, and I don't know where he got it from.
Marquita's
But
a
I
rapper,
love
y'all,
it.
below.
Man, I'm just gonna wrap all these compliments in one because there's no words for it. But honestly, if you all definitely want to finally meet Steve or catch him like Where's Waldo, we'll be there together. So please go and get your tickets. You can go to @LaunchArtsMedia on all social media platforms. Hit the link in the bio and please go secure your space. I want you guys to beat me there, not meet me there. But you'll have the opportunity to get in his ear and most importantly on his calendar. You can book him for all things commemorative because as we know, the most important things in life are those things that we need records for. So while we do YouTube, and he has definitely helped us to craft our legacy here, he will help you to craft your memories and let them live past you. So absolutely make sure that you continue to support him. Also, we want to support Launch Arts Media, so thank you all for sharing him with us. We have to definitely shout out his partner, Miss Lady B. She is the partner in crime, and she is the one. Now, if you talk about events or anything else, she is amazing at seeing the reactions of it all, catching the crowd, catching those different angles and all the different views. She's great at watching the room, but also keeping us on point. So shout out to Bree because she is somebody special. I would be remiss if I did not shout out our boy Kwame. We love you and we love the brother. Now, when it comes to businesses and getting your stamp out here in the city, everybody ain't official. Y'all know they call me beneficial because I've been official. And you know why? Because I got the Letter Brother stamp. Now, if you want to be a little bit like me and get your Letter Brother stamp, make sure you invite him out. Whether you are having an opening, a closing, you're just doing something amazing in the city and you want to make sure that first people know you exist, but also know that you are operating in excellence. You can come and get your Letter Brother stamp. Please make sure you invite him out and stay consistent in that because you never know when he might just pop up. But when he gets there, it's going to be a great time. He's going to review you and all that you do. It won't be your typical interview. So when he pulls up, his pull-up game strong. If you want him to come, please make sure that you hit him up on all social media platforms, and we will have all this in the show notes below, so don't get mad. The next one we have is Sam of Curvy_Confident1. Now, y'all know my girl Sam. It's the pretty one. She always dressed. She continues to have the conversations that impress, and more importantly, she is great when it comes to confidence and mental health for your business. Now, she's a full-fledged vibe, and we want to get into these spaces, but we don't want them to be boring. So not only is she gonna look the part, she's gonna get it popping. She's gonna, more importantly, keep it popping. And when it comes to interviews, any type of event, coordination, or anything like that, she's the lady you need to see. So please make sure you hit up Sam and let her know that Beneficial Bay sent you. I will be nobody without my home girl, because y'all know when I need a break, my girl Britt comes through. Shout out to Brittany. Now, yes, she is a full-fledged member of the Pull-Up Experience, but she got her own thing going, y'all. She just shared her expertise with us. She is a podcaster as well, and if you all just need to go and vent, and you got a little time to really get some juice and some tea, she gonna spill it all on Beauty Toad Podcast. That is BEAU_T, because that's what she's gonna be sipping and spilling, _Toad, because she is one to make sure that the story gets told, but more importantly, they make sure that the story gets showed in the way it's showed. So when that comes to everything as far as navigation, understanding the pitfalls, understanding the realities of it all, finances, business, everything in between, this is the show that you need to be on. And more importantly, even if you're not there yet, obviously pull up on her. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, so everybody knows and we can grow together. I myself am Beneficial Bae. I help businesses who are starting to stagnate build their businesses through organic marketing strategies. Today we've been talking all about finance, and we know everybody ain't got a check, so I don't try to make you run ads until I know that you are ready and have the proper framework. So here we are. That's pretty much it. Nakia, how did I forget my favorite? Charge to my head, not my heart, and please save me a bottle of the Black Rim to You wines. Now, black owned, women owned, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful wine in the city. It is the boutique winery that gets you where you need to go. Lit, not only because, yes, it is 14% alcohol, so tread lightly, but lit because the conversation will ignite something in you that you will never be able to turn off or shy away from. One thing about her and that winery is something special. Now, let me get you the address first. It is 4425 Mayfield Road, South Euclid, Ohio, 44121. Yes, we know her because she did the All-Star Weekend. We know her because she literally does everybody else's signature wine brand and help them get to where they need to go as far as business. But more importantly, we know the wine slushies. We know the wine tastings, right? Because a lot of times, a lot of us don't explore spaces because we don't feel like we're educated enough. So she puts you in a mode where you absolutely understand. Now, we got the charcuterie. We definitely got the playlist. The patio's always open. And you never know. The pull-up, well, we live there. So the pull-up's always up there. But definitely come and support my sis. Absolutely. Another add to your calendar is August 31st.
Yes.
We will be having the wine festival.
Yes.
And it will be at the food truck space in South Euclid. That is like right behind the McDonald's where it is Green and Mayfield Road connecting. You definitely want to come out. Wine, food, vendors, performers. We have a little bit of everything and all that you need. So please make sure that you sign up and show up because it is going to be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. Again, I like to see how you really move. So y'all can tell us y'all support us, but I really want you to be seeing it. So let me, pull up on me. I ain't hard to find. The last thing I could definitely say, and it's the most important part of our podcast, is you. Thank y'all for always pulling up. We are 7.8 million views, almost 16,000 subscribers on YouTube.
It is irking me that it's right there. Come on, y'all.
Tell a friend to tell a friend, and then come again, please. But thank y'all so far for everything that you continue to do. We are on episode 226, and that is no easy feat.
No.
Yes, we show up, but more importantly, we are able to really shine a light on amazing things and amazing people in our city. As you know, we have resources. Shout out to Tim. Have amazing resources and wonderful, wonderful things and people to connect with and stay connected with. Because it's one thing to introduce yourself, it's a whole other thing to build those relationships.
Absolutely.
And that is a testament to you all, making sure that they understand their value, making sure that we are held accountable to continue to hold their value, because we know how y'all get when we don't post for like a day. So we will continue to stay posted and make sure that we keep y'all hip to who you should know. And just continue to grow together. But thank you for being you. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for loving on us. I hope to see y'all in the next episode. And until that time, goodbye.
Peace.